The multifaceted influence of the United States on African countries, a comprehensive analysis. The United States' influence on African countries is a complex and evolving relationship that encompasses diplomatic, economic, cultural, and security dimensions. This extensive analysis explores the multifaceted nature of U.S. influence in Africa, examining the historical context, key drivers, and implications for African nations. Join us on an epic journey. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for captivating content, thrilling adventures, and endless inspiration. Don't miss out on the fun. Hit that subscribe button now. Ready for more amazing content? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay updated with our latest videos. Join the community and be part of the adventure. Don't miss out, subscribe today. The influence of the United States on African countries is a subject of interest and debate among scholars, policymakers, and international relations experts. It is characterized by a combination of diplomatic efforts, economic engagements, security cooperation, and cultural exchanges. The following sections delve into these dimensions. 1. Diplomatic relations and geopolitical interests. Diplomatic relations between the U.S. and African countries have been instrumental in shaping the dynamics of influence. Key aspects include A. Trade agreements and bilateral relations. Trade agreements and bilateral relations are crucial channels for diplomacy and influence. For example, the African Growth and Opportunity Act (AGA) provides preferential access to U.S. markets for many African nations, promoting economic ties. B. Counterterrorism and security cooperation. The U.S. collaborates with African countries on counterterrorism efforts, security training, and peacekeeping missions. These partnerships often involve the exchange of military assistance and intelligence. C. Peace and conflict resolution. The U.S. plays a role in mediating conflicts and supporting peace initiatives in Africa. For example, it has been involved in efforts to address the Darfur conflict in Sudan and the South Sudanese civil war. D. Counterbalance to rival powers. The U.S. pursues its geopolitical interests in Africa, countering the influence of rival nations such as China and Russia. This is particularly evident in strategic competition for access to resources and influence over African governments. 2. Economic influence. The U.S. exerts economic influence in several ways, impacting trade, investment, and development. A. Trade relations and development aid. The U.S. is a significant trading partner for African nations, and foreign aid is channeled into development programs that address issues like healthcare, education, infrastructure, and governance. B. Multinational corporations and investment. U.S. multinational corporations have a substantial presence in Africa, contributing to economic growth, job creation, and infrastructure development. C. Agricultural initiatives. U.S. initiatives like the Feed the Future program aim to improve food security and agricultural productivity in African countries. D. Debt relief and financial assistance. The U.S. supports debt relief initiatives and financial assistance to alleviate economic challenges in African nations. 3. Security cooperation. Security cooperation is a critical dimension of U.S. influence in Africa, addressing regional security challenges and terrorism threats. Key elements include A. AFRICOM and counterterrorism efforts. The United States Africa Command AFRICOM plays a central role in coordinating U.S. military efforts on the continent, including counterterrorism operations. B. Peacekeeping and conflict resolution. African countries often collaborate with the U.S. in peacekeeping missions and conflict resolution efforts. C. Military training and capacity building. The U.S. provides training and resources to African militaries, enhancing their capabilities to address security challenges. 4. Cultural exchange and soft power. Cultural exchange programs and soft power initiatives promote mutual understanding and strengthen ties between the U.S. and African nations. A. Educational programs. The Fulbright Program and the Young African Leaders Initiative (YLI) are examples of educational programs that foster academic and professional exchanges. B. Media and entertainment. Hollywood movies, American music, and digital content contribute to U.S. soft power, reaching African youth and urban populations. C. Public diplomacy and exchange programs. Public diplomacy initiatives engage with African civil society, fostering people-to-people connections. 5. humanitarian aid and health initiatives. The U.S. has been instrumental in addressing public health issues in Africa through programs like PEPFAR, President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, and USAID, making a significant impact on healthcare outcomes. 6. Challenges and complexities. The multifaceted influence of the U.S. in Africa is not without challenges and complexities. A. Dependency and sovereignty concerns. Some African nations have expressed concerns about becoming overly dependent on foreign aid or being influenced by external powers. B. Resource extraction and environmental concerns. Resource extraction by U.S. corporations in Africa raises questions about environmental sustainability and fair resource distribution. C. Geopolitical competition. The competition between the U.S., China, and other nations for influence in Africa can create challenges for African governments in balancing multiple partnerships. D. Human rights and governance. The U.S. often links its aid and support to human rights and governance standards, which can strain diplomatic relations when issues arise. Conclusion. The multifaceted influence of the United States on African countries is the result of a dynamic and evolving relationship. While U.S. engagement has brought benefits such as economic development and security cooperation, it has also raised complex challenges. African nations navigate their partnerships with the U.S. to advance their interests while managing the implications of external influence. The future of U.S.-African relations will continue to evolve, shaped by shifting geopolitical dynamics and the evolving priorities of both the U.S. and African countries. Understanding this multifaceted influence requires ongoing analysis and attention.